Okay friends, let's get to it. I am feeling really vulnerable. My hair is all done, but I wanted to show you my over 50 dry, mature skin routine. So I am barefaced, hair is done, and that's for another video. I actually do have really curly hair, but I usually take a big iron and go through it. So that's all done. And I'm kind of sweating, but we're going to do my skincare routine now. It's a sunny day today, so I'm definitely gonna put on some sunscreen. And I'm going to start out with some cleansing water. And you say, well, why do you do that even after you got out of the shower? Well, I just like to make sure I got everything in the shower. I usually take one of those kind of more fuzzy rags in the shower. And this one's from Norwex, and that's it's got the extra scrubby on it. So that's what I like about it. But I'm just gonna take some micellar water, and I'm going to be going on my reusable little puffs. I just went on Etsy and somebody was making them, and I think I got 50 of them for, so much. So I just go over my skin. And like I said, I do have super dry, sensitive skin. And the products that I'm using today, I have no reaction to, which is what I want. So, all right. And then, oops, it came in a little bag. So I just kind of set this to the side, and that goes right in the wash, and then reuse them. Next is my toner. I use Baha toner, and it's got the niacinamide in it, which helps shrink pores. So as you age, which I'm officially over 50, your pores get bigger, which means more gunk gets caught in them, and then the more gunk gets caught in them, the bigger they get. So this niacinamide shrinks your pores down. There's no scent to this. Like I said, I'm so sensitive. And this was, I follow Penn Smith Skincare on YouTube as well, which you'll see in my cards that I follow. She has dry skin as well, but she's a master esthetician, and I've followed so many things from her, and this is one of the products that she suggested. And just go over your face. Another one that's gonna go into the little bag and go in the wash. And then next is my under eye cream. I like to let my skincare soak kind of like while I'm doing my mascara. So next is another suggestion from Penn Smith. This is from Suhada, and you can't see the spelling of the name, but if you go on Amazon, let's see if you can see that. It comes in a little tube. It is rather expensive. I think for this tube it's like $20, but I think I buy it once every like 9 months, and I'm down to the last little bit, and I have my next on hand here. And then I use my ring finger and just go over it, and I have a nice little magnifying mirror next to me here. And I just go over, especially in like the crow's feet area. And the other problem I was having was super dry, like right in this crease here. And this has taken that away. I've used this maybe 2 years now, and I couldn't find anything to help me with my dry skin around my eyes. And then I do the other eye. And then whatever's left, I kind of go in my 11s, which is kind of right in the middle here. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty vulnerable here without any makeup on. My friends would probably laugh because I really don't, I like gotta have a little bit of mascara and a little bit of lip, right? So, all right. Yeah, I was gonna say my mascara, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so next is a brand that they sell at Ulta. That's the only place that I know besides Amazon. It's CosRX. It's Korean skincare. And this is the Snail Mucin. And I'm getting down there, but it just gives that extra moisture. And when you put it on, it's kind of thick. It kind of has that like snaily, ooey gooiness to it. Like it kind of comes apart like that. But I put that right on over the top. And I make sure and get my forehead good, around the sides. And I just love how this feels. And then while I'm waiting for this to kind of dry, and if you're in a hurry, I do this. I have my hot flash fan for those of us that are experiencing hot flashes, and just kind of give it a nice dry. Or you can just let it dry itself, and it's pretty much there, pretty much done. And yeah, you can see all of my melasma and a few other fun things that you get to deal with as you age. And then my other suggestion from Pensmith was the Hada Labo from Tokyo. It is the Skin Plumping Gel Cream, and it goes great under makeup. You know, I don't really wear that much like heavy duty concealer and foundation and stuff like that. This is a little bit thicker as well. I'm getting down there on that. I think I gotta get some. And then I just do some dots kind of in the problem areas where I get dry. Usually nose, T-zone. And I know so many people are the opposite. They are oily. My husband, my brothers, and I inherited, I think, the dry skin from my dad. So thanks, Dad. And this just feels so good. It's the Skin Plumping. And another thing now that I specifically got on Amazon. These other, the CosRX, you can get at Ulta usually. And then same with the Suhada is, I'll put it all in the list below, but this was specifically on Amazon as well. All right, so now that that's kind of sitting, you put your skincare on first, and then you're on to your sunscreen. So this is the one that I love the most. I have the tinted version, which is what I'm using today because I'm not going to put a bunch of stuff on. The tinted version, universal tint for lighter skin, and it's the Drmtolgy, and it's 46, which I think is pretty good for the day. So I try to go down my neck. Actually, I put it on my forearms and such as well. So this definitely needs to sit on your skin and let it soak in, for lack of better, and you'll see the tint to it. I usually do one pump, and that pretty much covers that area. And then I put my fingers together and just kind of touch the areas that for sure see sun. And then the rest goes on my neck. And I just kind of push it into my skin. You really can't see that there's a tint to it. Well, here you can, but as soon as I rub it in, it just kind of disappears. It doesn't leave that white cast that a lot of them do. A lot of people complain about it, and at least on my skin, I have the dry skin, so it's not leaving a cast. This is over the top of my skincare. And it looks like I got some in my hair. And I really like how this feels. This is moisturizing. Make sure and get that upper lip line, kind of where the lines start to form, kind of in the folds here. And then over by the eyes. I've learned my lesson though, that if you get it too close to your eyes, by the end of the night, my eyes kind of start stinging a little bit. So, you know, heed that warning. But there's literally nothing in here that bothers me. And you can kind of hear that stick. You know what I mean? So we're gonna let that sit at least for a good 10 minutes or so. So the 10 minutes I'm putting the rest on the back of my hands, might as well. So during that 10 minutes that's for sure sitting on my skin, I am going to start my eye care. Or my eye makeup. And like I said, I try not to wear too much, you know, getting older, start sinking into those lines and everything. So I'm just doing kind of a fresh face look. I have deep set eyes, so I tend to wear lighter, whatchamacallit. I tend to wear lighter colored, okay, let's try that again. I tend to wear lighter colored eyeshadow, and I have lighter colored eyes, but that lighter color kind of opens the eyes up instead of it being super heavy. So I am going to put on my upper mascara. I kind of deviate between two. I wear waterproof on the bottom because, I don't know, sometimes I cry about nothing, or my eyes start watering because of allergies. And then that way on my bottom, it does not run. And then on the top, I really love the Benefit mascara. That's one of the things I do, splurge on one time a year. I usually get it on Black Friday around Christmas, and it comes in a 3-pack. So it's usually $40, 40 something. Price is probably gone up now. But you get the 3-pack of the Benefit mascara, and this one is the Bad Gal Bang. And it's got a nice thin brush. The other ones are Roller Lash, and then Yes They're Real. Those 3 come in a pack, and I usually buy it once a year and alternate between the 3. So, but I really love this brush on here. It's really thin, and it gets into my older lashes. So I'm gonna put this on real quick. Okay, so that's the upper, but I haven't cleaned it off yet. So what I do is I put my mascara on, and you can see I gooped and gobbled on there. And that's what happens when you have hooded eyes, as you age. I don't know all these, makeup gurus, how they do their eyeshadow first and then put their mascara on. Never in my life. So, all right, the other that I'm gonna be putting on my bottom lashes is Wet n Wild. How do you like that? I love Wet n Wild, cruelty-free. And then this is a newer one. This is Mega Length, but it's got, and this is waterproof, but it's got that super skinny brush, which I love for the bottom lashes. So if you can see that, it's got that super skinny. So I'm gonna stick this on there, and then we'll get my eyes cleaned up. And I just barely touch the bottom. You wanna look like you're wearing makeup, but not a lot. And I have those blonde eyelashes, so I look bald. I mean, I look bald without anything. And yes, I'll probably be making faces here. All right, well, that's about as good as I can get. And then kind of let this dry a little bit. And I forgot my eye makeup remover. I'll be right back. Okay, let's start that over again. All right, so I've got my mascara on, my skincare is on, and my sunscreen. And then I'm going to clean up my goopiness around where I put my mascara on. And I like to use the good old-fashioned kind. I love my Mary Kay. I've used it, I literally think, since high school. So we had a Mary Kay gal there, and I'm just kind of putting some on a Q-tip. And it's the oil-free makeup remover. And I think we all used it for, I don't know how long, but it just literally wipes and takes everything off. And what I do is I use one end as the wet to get it off, and then I go back with the dry and dry it off. And then same, I kind of use the same one for that. There's usually not too much on the bottom. And then just kind of dry it off, and look at that. It literally took it all right off compared to that one. So yeah, that's the problem, like I said, with having hooded eyes, but you just kind of deal with it. So I'm just cleaning this eye now. So the other reason why I like this mascara, the Bad Gal Bang, it actually, it stays, and it doesn't really crumble and, kind of fall down your face, for the day. Because sometimes those other mascaras really dry out. I don't know, this one just really, again, the Bad Gal Bang. And it's the black. I think you can get it in waterproof, but doing waterproof on my upper lids, as you go to clean it off, it like pulls your lashes out, and that's absolutely, I don't need that because my lashes are thin enough as, aging here. So, all right, so that's all done. Eyelids are all clean, and I kind of go over them with my pinkies, no big deal. Now too, and my makeup or my skincare is still setting. You can still kind of hear it. And so next I'm going to get my eyelid ready for a little bit of makeup. So I like to use Neutrogena Hydra Boost, and it is a concealer. It's hydrating concealer. It's got hyaluronic acid, but it actually just has that little bit on the top. So I'm putting hyaluronic acid on my eyelid, which is very moisturizing. So I take my kind of flat brush, kind of my concealer brush, and I just put a little bit. I'm just taking it and I'm going like this. And I'm covering up all those blue veins that everybody gets on their eyelids. And sometimes this is all I do. I just put this on and I don't worry about it. But I'm gonna be filming another video, so I wanna look cute for you guys. So I'm just doing that, kind of a real quick swipe, nothing real fancy. And then I go all the way out to the crease because I tend to get red in the corners. And then that's just a nice palette. I don't know, my friends kind of think I'm crazy that I still wear makeup. I don't know, I am probably one of the last ones that really wears makeup out of my little group of friends. All right, next, eyeshadow. The word I couldn't spit out before. Eyeshadow. I really love the Urban Decay brand. This palette has like seen its better days. I've used it for quite a while. You can kind of see some are down to pan, but it's the Naked Urban Decay, and it is just really neutral colors. That's what I love about it. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to go in the lightest color. And I put it on and then I tap it off like right back in the pan. And I'm just gonna go from corner, and then that really lightens your eye up. Same thing. And I just do my actual eyeball area. And then I hit it with a little bit of shine, the one right next to it. And then go from inner corner to outer. And that's got a little bit of sparkle to it. Okay, and then I'm gonna do that here. I got some kind of hair here. And then that just gives it a little bit of shine. And the other one that I use in this palette is going to be the dark ones down on the end here. I actually prefer the second to last, and that's when I go over my lid. I have one of these little teeny tiny brushes. I don't know if you can see that. Little curved, and then I put that into that black, and then I tap it off, the same thing, and then I just go over that line on my lid from my tattoo. Permanent makeup, I should say, maybe. And then it just kind of gives it a little extra definition. Sometimes I go thicker. And then this is the other purpose that I don't put my foundation and stuff on, because sometimes, you know, when I'm using not actual stick eyeliner, that this is eyeshadow. I can't spit that word out today. I don't know why. So this is eyeshadow, and sometimes as you're putting it on, it kind of dribbles down your, you know, a couple dots on your face. So I'll check that before I start putting on my other stuff. All right, so, and then this eye, and it usually sticks on there pretty good. And I try to knock most of it off. But I found this brush at like Marshall's or something, and I really liked it because it was curved. All right, well, that's my eyes in a nutshell, and I can kind of see over here a little bit. Get rid of that. All right, so that's my eyes, my simple eyes. And then, so now, before I put on any foundation, I put on my under eye concealer. So you can kind of see I have darker circles, more in my corners, which I'll touch up with something else at the end. But I use the Maybelline eraser, and that doesn't dry my skin out. Otherwise, the other one that I use which has seen its better days as well. Oh my gosh, you can't even read it. Well, it's Bye Bye Under Eye. And I usually buy just the sample version, because if you buy those big tubes, they'll be dry by the end. So, I mean, I've had this one probably a year and a half, and because you just need such a minuscule amount of this because it's so thick. But I'm not going to put that on today. It's pretty warm out and it might kind of get goopy. So on this one, you just crank it. And then I'm just going to touch it. I like how it feels. It's got like the sponginess to it. And get all the way up to that corner. I let it sit. You can hear the sponge a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of just touch at it with my ring finger. They always say use your ring finger because it doesn't have as much pressure like your index finger, so I always use my ring finger. I don't know if you've heard that before. And I'm not gonna make it real neat, I'm just kind of pushing it in to those lines that I have. And then this way it gets rid of some excess, if I have excess. I'm just kind of wipe it off on those, I'm wiping it off on these little things that I have to the side. And that'll go in the wash anyways. All right, so that's pretty good. I know it looks kind of crazy right now, but all right. So then I feel like this is ready. And I'm going to use I'm gonna use some powder today instead of liquid. All right, so the powders that I use, I really like Clinique. See the Clinique brand. And then it has a nice mirror inside, etc. And this is the light. As you can see, the light. And that's my skin. My skin is light colored. I do touch myself up a little bit with this, but otherwise I use a brush to put it on. So I'm gonna use my brush and I just swirl it, and then I try to tap off all the excess just right back into the pan. And I start down below here. And I'm gonna flip my mirror over here quick. Oops. There we go. All right, so I'm trying to cover up this melasma and such that I have on the side here. And it just kind of makes it disappear. It's really nice. But yet, you can see my freckles and such. And it just evens out that skin tone. And what I do is, after I do this first swirl in here, I try to do half of my face. And I go right over that eyebrow, everything, into the corners. And then I like to do here because then you don't have that demarcation that you're actually wearing a whole bunch of makeup. And yeah, you can kind of see it doesn't make it too crazy looking. So this side has makeup and this doesn't, but it just kind of covers those imperfections that you want covered. So, and I got that. All right, so now I'm gonna go back in the pan, and I try to dab up what I buffed, or the tapped off. And then same thing here, tap it off. And then same thing on this side. And up on my forehead. And just back around. Okay. All right, well that's that. And then now that I've got that on, all right, so I kind of go over my face and make sure that it's not too powdery looking when I do use powder. And I've got my big magnifying mirror here, and see if there's any areas that I need touched up. I got a fun new friend right there. Not really, but, and then I look at under my eyes to make sure everything is like pressed into those wrinkles. I had a little bit of extra on this side. And it's not looking too bad. And then if there is any extra little bits and pieces coming off from my eyeliner or anything, I have a little smaller brush that I just take and I go underneath. All right. Then I am going to use my blush, which is not really blush. It is, I've had this for years. Please don't judge me. I probably have had this container for 12 plus years. It's from Bare Minerals again, and it's so wore off. I've like I said, I've had it for years and years. It is true. It is because you can use it so sparingly. I usually have it tipped over. They don't even have like the new lids or anything in here, but I have it tipped over and all I use is what's in the lid, very sparingly. And I just put it high up on my cheekbones and I do the same, like tap off. Turn this around again. And I just go up on the top here and it just gives a little bit of shimmer. Kind of see it? So gives it that nice little glow. And now I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I just use, this is so old and grimy looking, but it's getting to the end. It is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow for blondes. And obviously I've used it down to the bare minimum here. And another thing that I just tap off, I find that using shadows is not as harsh. And it just kind of makes your face look a little more complete. So if you look at this side to this side, and I have the blonder eyebrows too, so I just kind of fill them in. I got a strange thing happening. I've got one gray hair right in the front here that makes it look like there's a hole. So I always kind of have to color that over. And then I just try to go to the end. As you age, the ends of your eyebrows tend to disappear from all of us, over plucking as we did back in the day. But yeah, that kind of just fills them in nicely. Not too, wham bam. Like, I don't know, a lot of people do those really thick eyebrows. And I've naturally have super thick eyebrows if I don't pluck them. So I literally would have a unibrow. So I try not to, I only pluck what I've plucked before. Say that 10 times. And so just in the middle and then up and underneath. That's all I pluck. I really don't even pluck the ends hardly at all. Done with the brows. My little secret that I do, I use a little bit of highlighter. And this is from Milani. If you can see, Milani. And I picked this up at Ulta as well. I don't even think they make this anymore. But then I just take one of my little brushes and I like to go into this middle one, which is down to pan already, or the white. But I usually do this kind of yellow. And I literally just do the tip of my nose and my Cupid's bow. And if you didn't know that's what it's called, but it's called a Cupid's bow. And a little bit more, and I'm going to do the inside corners of my eye just to kind of hide my dark. Okay. And final step is going to be setting it all. So I usually use the Urban Decay all-nighter, but I'm out. So I have this. It sounds so nice. Relaxing facial prime and setting mist. I don't prime my face. I just do my skincare routine. And this is chamomile, white tea, and lavender. So now that all of my makeup's on and you can kind of just see that little bit of extra glow, I set it. So I'm gonna give this a shake. This is where my fan comes back into play. And I'm gonna do a couple sprays. And let it fall on your face. Okay. And then my final step is, my final step is my lip stuff. So I kind of have bigger lips for a person, so I actually am kind of sensitive about it, but I use Lipsense. And people might laugh at me, but it's one of those things that it stays on all day. And then I just add my little cheapo lip balm to it. But Lipsense, it's one of those, MLMs or what have you. But I have two colors. There's only two. I have one that's kind of pinky and one that's kind of beigey. Yeah, beige champagne and pink champagne. I'm kind of simple. So today I'm wearing a little bit of orangey, so I'm probably gonna put on the Beige Champagne, and then you shake it up. You can hear the little balls inside. And there is a trick to it. So I make sure my lips are dry, and then you take it out, and it's got the little doe foot applicator. And you have to have your mouth wide open because you don't want them to touch. Like normally you put stuff on and you put your lips together, and this one you don't. You have to let it dry, and you have to be really precise. And then if you're not, you take that makeup remover and remove it. So this is my last step, doe foot applicator. And then I'm kind of a simple girl when it comes to that. It's pretty much dry now. And it's just real natural looking. It doesn't look too crazy. So I am an old-fashioned AVON strawberry lip balm girl. Carry it in my pocket quite a bit. And it just gives you a little bit of color. I know this pretty much stays on all day, but you'll see. And it's moisturizing. And it feels good. Gives a little bit of color. I don't even want to know how many pounds of this I probably have eaten in my life. But yeah, guys, that's it. All right, let my hair back down to normal. I just thought I'd bring you with and show you my skincare routine, my little bit of makeup routine, and it's not too crazy. So my friends think I'm crazy that I still wear makeup, but I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be that, like my mom. My mom, she wore some Bare Minerals. She actually had really long brown lashes, so she didn't need mascara, but she wore Bare Minerals, a little bit of blush, and gotta have the lip. So I feel like that's gonna be me for my lifetime. And I do have glasses that I read with when it gets too bad under my eyes and I can't handle the bags. The glasses go on, so if you see me in glasses in the videos, that's why. But otherwise, I appreciate you coming with me and accepting my vulnerable self from being, you know, makeup free to just a little bit of extra. So I appreciate it, and I will see you next time, guys, on Christine's Routines. Thanks, and take care, and God bless. Oh boy. Oh yeah, great.